Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and I'm reading. I'm doing the Justice League final trailer review. It was a pretty good trailer, all things considered. It's one of those things where though they're trying to dress up what was already done a while ago, and they don't want to reshoot an entire movie. Now, I've made my feelings clear multiple times on the Batman vs Superman and the and how it pales in comparison. It's horrible compared to like even Man of Steel. And other people who don't like Man of Steel, I don't have that problem. I like Man of Steel. I just didn't like the ending. And Suicide Squad. I liked the Suicide Squad, believe it or not. In general, I didn't like the final fight scene. Hey Victor, what's going on, brother? What I didn't like about the general overarching movie of Suicide Squad was that they were going after some big MacGuffin in the sky. All right, so there's a city, and all of a sudden it's like so ridiculous, right? It's like, oh my God, there's something happening over there. You see it? Look, the big light that's shooting straight up into the sky. We have to go there. That's where the bad guy is. What's up, Shivs? That's where the bad guy is. That's where we have to go. We have to just stop that light from going in the sky. That's the Suicide Squad. That's pretty much the plot, the whole point. There was nothing else, really. There's a reason why the light was going in the sky. Whatever. As far as, they got that idea, of course, from the Avengers. Now, was the Avengers the first to ever use this MacGuffin? Doubtful. But it's the first one that was really mainstream, big stream like that. And it was good. Nobody complained about the Avengers, like not really. It was this big portal in the sky and monsters are coming out, so we have to stop the portal, and that will stop the monsters from coming out, hence we win the day. Yay. You know what I'm saying? And it was good. It was good. I liked it. It was good. Now, if they did that again for the second movie, well, I'd have a problem with that. But they didn't do it with the second movie. It had its own problems. But for the most part, So, turning around and it's looking like it's going to be something very similar here. Now, I get that there's a lot of CGI in this, and I get that there kind of has to be a lot of CGI in here. All right? Case in point, do we really want to see a whole bunch of people dressing up as parademons and flying around on wires? No. I don't think there's a single person who's going to say, yes, that would be more believable. Nobody's going to believe that. So that's one of those cases where you kind of have to use CGI, right? Otherwise, they're going to look like flying monkeys or the UFOs from Plan 9 from outer space. Look that one up, kids. Art Wood. Good stuff. Kind of. Golden Turkey Award. What I am going to say, though, is that when you have to do CGI for something, that's one thing. But when you don't, yet you choose to, that's when suddenly it starts to get a little bit too much like Star Wars The Phantom Menace. Yeah, I went there. Now, I'm not saying that's what this movie's going to be like. Maybe it will be. Maybe it won't. We'll have to see, unfortunately. It looks like they're putting in a good amount of humor, which is crucial, instead of that whole original thing that DC, I don't know if some of you guys may not know this, DC, when they announced, okay, we're going to start a DC cinematic universe, and technically, the first one already came out. Remember Man of Steel? Yeah, that was technically the first one. Yeah, we didn't know about that either until we decided we're going to do a DC cinematic universe. And we're like, Zack Snyder did a good job with this. Let's have him run the entire show. And Zack Snyder was like, I get to make 300 again and again and again into redundancy. And oh yeah, it was already done into redundancy with Batman vs Superman. On top of that, the actress who plays Superman's mother, Martha, she she has already stated the movie's not as good as the Avengers. On top of that, she's announced this before they even did the reshoots. So it's like, oh, well then there's hope because there's reshoots. But then DC said, no reshoots. There were no reshoots. There were a few reshoots. There were maybe a couple of reshoots. There weren't really that many reshoots. And they didn't really change anything while they do reshoots. Just few reshoots, okay? We have no problems. Nothing to see here, like the cop from South Park. DC is trying too much with damage control. And guys, as a guy with a bachelor's in business with a specialty in marketing, I can assure you I know damage control when I see it. It's not in full damage control. Make no mistake, it's not in full damage control. I've seen much worse, even in movies. But this movie is actually in damage control. Things have been shot, things have been done that they just assumed, oh, the fans will accept it. The problem is even the fans are starting to drop off. Now, here's the thing. The movie may be really good. I believe that the movie could be pretty good. The problem with the people who have been coming back and giving us reports about the movie, because no official reports really, even a lot of the articles that I see, they'll refer to things like, oh yeah, the Steppenwolf, he's the henchman of Darkseid. No, he's not. No, he's not. I don't think he's ever even been portrayed necessarily as a henchman. Who he actually is, and you can go and check out on Comic Book University, Steppenwolf Explained in a Minute. Yeah, check it out there. It may even be in the description below. There's a lot in the description below. What we have there is Steppenwolf is actually the father of Doomsday. Seriously, like the biological father of Doomsday. So to call him a henchman, would any of you call your dad a henchman? Maybe your dad works for you. But to call him an henchman, come on, man. that's a bit much. So, no, a lot of these people I don't think really get the Justice League, really get the DC universe, really get the heroes and villains there. So, I take what I read online, and unfortunately I have to read a lot online. I take it with a grain of salt. So, it could be good. We got to here. Here's something. One of the best, and I hate saying anything good about the New 52 universe, but one of the best showings of the New 52 universe was when Steppenwolf charged in, took over the Earth, and on top of that, actually managed to kill Wonder Woman directly, and he killed Superman too. Now that's one hell of a villain that you don't want to mess around with. He's extremely effective. Even when he was first introduced, and I did an introduction to him. I did the very first issue where they showed New Gods issue number 7. That was his introduction to the DC universe. Jack Kirby created this character solely. Usually it's like, oh, the writer and the artist. He was both. Jack Kirby was both the writer and the artist. Nobody disputes Jack Kirby. Nobody who wants any credibility in the world, that is. So what I'm going to say is, in this, and you can go and check out Spotlight on Story on Comic Book University. Spotlight on Story, New Gods issue number 7. I go into exasperating detail about that one single issue of that series, the New Gods. And Steppenwolf was actually explained in retrospect. He was already dead at this point, killed by Highfather. It was really a good story. It was an amazing story. But you got to see the devastation that he wrought from behind the scenes back in the past, like thousands of years ago. And he was terrifying, just talking about the memory, the flashback of who this guy was, the father of Darkseid. It was freaky. Excuse me, I said father of Darkseid. Uncle of Darkseid. Sorry, that's on me. The uncle of Darkseid. Biological uncle, the maternal uncle of Darkseid. I can't believe I said father. Must be tired. Anyway, the idea here is that he was a very ridiculously overpowered character, which was good. That's what the New Gods are. Mind you, they're called the New Gods because they replaced the old gods, like Zeus and all of them. Yeah, they're outdated now. These guys are in charge now. They are extremely powerful. So, yeah, this is, in my opinion, it's a very good play to have Steppenwolf here. Now, having the Halloween mask for Steppenwolf, I think is kind of silly. Yeah, that exists. Look it up. There's a Halloween mask for Steppenwolf. No. We did get to hear him talk, though. And the thing that he says in here is actually brilliant. Like, he's got the one guy up, he's about to kill him, and the guy says, please, we've got families. And Steppenwolf says, why does everyone keep saying that? Because he literally has 0 Fs to give. Oh, no. See, on Apocalypse, they have entire gardens worth of Fs to give. Yet, every single one of those fields are barren. No crops grow. So, it's a silly joke. The idea is that he don't care. He is ruthless, and he is willing to rip apart anybody who gets in his way. That's what I love about this guy. Now, I'm hoping that they're really going to go all out and not start changing things for the sake of conversation. They've got mechanized war dogs. That's actually what they're called, the war dogs. All right, these they're essentially supposed to represent the hounds of hell, and you actually have riders on, including him. He's the head of the war dog battalions. So they get on top of these gigantic freaking metallic dogs, and they just when they ride into battle like that. If they do it right, and they actually do it, that could be one of the most terrifying scenes that we see in superhero movies. Am I saying that this should be a horror movie? No, but there absolutely should be that element in it, because that's what Steppenwolf has brought to the field. He's all about demoralizing the opponents, his opponents, so that he could defeat them in battle. He wants them routed, and he wants to chase them down and kill them all, individually, wholesale, whatever. Mass graves, why bury them? Let everybody see what I've done. That's Steppenwolf. That's what I want to see. So him just appearing on Themyscira, mind you, this is perfect. Themyscira, and you can go and check out Nubia Explained in a Minute on Comic Book University. Nubia is actually in charge, and there's actually a spotlighted story about Nubia, the first 3 issues that had her appearing in it. Nubia, the sister of Wonder Woman. Before she was considered the sister of Wonder Woman, no, actually she was always considered the sister of Wonder Woman. Okay. She was always considered the sister of Wonder Woman, but she existed long before, in the sense that we knew her story long before. There was also there was a time when she wasn't necessarily the sister, just a sister like Themyscirian sister, where she existed thousands of years before. The standard story, though, is that they were both created out of the same clay, one dark, one light, whatever. It's in religion also. The idea is that she was the first person to ever win that bullets and bracelets thing. Long before there were bullets. She won that first contest, and her prize was that she got to be the one guardian inside of the portal that led to not just the River Styx and Tartarus and all that stuff, but into hell, basically. This portal into evil. All right, so all the bad things in the world, like the old gods and whatnot, who were trying to get out, the titans and everything, and the monsters, the Gorgon, everything, who was trying to get out, Themyscira is there as a portal to prevent that from happening. This is even in the comics. So this isn't just something that they brought up out of thin air in the movie. This is actually the comics. What do you call it? George Perez, I think, was actually pretty heavy in that. Anyway, Nubia was the one who actually went and guarded Themyscira from inside the portal, and they closed it behind her, the door of doom. They actually closed it behind her, and she fought off forever. So, like, literally, she's got everything that Wonder Woman can do, she can do, but she's better. Because you're talking about constant battle and little, if any, sleep. So this isn't supposed to be about Nubia, although it'd be pretty cool to have at least a reference in there, because they were talking about having Nubia in the second Wonder Woman movie, in the sequel to Wonder Woman, which would be, I know a lot of people would be, if you don't know who Nubia is, go to Comic Book University, Nubia Explained in a Minute. If they don't know who she is, be like, come on, man, a black sister Wonder Woman, that's just stupid. They've obviously run out of ideas. Oh, no. It'd be a great idea to do that. It would be a fantastic idea to do that. There's so much story in there. It's not just it writes itself. It's already been written. It's already in storyboard format. Now just hire the actors to act out those roles. That's it. Oh, you want script for the movie? Here's the original comic books. They might be worth something. Try and get them signed. That's how good those stories were. Not joking. They were actually critically acclaimed, not just by me. So there's a whole lot here in potential, and that's the thing that's got me holding on. And I honestly feel like I'm a little effing worm on a big effing hook, Crow reference, because I feel like I'm being dangled over this big chasm, but I keep on saying, nah, everything's going to be okay. I got a firm, solid grasp, and I'm hoping nothing jumps out of the abyss and nibbles me, because there's so much story here. There's so much potential. It should write itself. The question is director ego going to get in the way? Joss Whedon, I don't usually see director ego getting in the way. I've always heard of him being willing to work with people. At the same time, what he's working with now is the legacy of Zack Snyder. Zack is a pretty cocky SOB. So what exactly is Joss working with here? You know what I'm saying? That's the big thing. So Let's take a couple questions over here. Oh, wow. Got a bunch of people in chat. Okay. Doomsday or Darkseid? Did I say Doomsday? I meant Darkseid. Sorry. Wow, so I just screwed up everything, huh? Sorry, guys. Yeah, Steppenwolf is the father of Darkseid. You understand why I make the mistake, right? I'm trying to talk quick, and I got my kid yelling in the other room. All right. Doug Vihovic, yes, Jack Kirby is the king. He literally considered the king of comics. I've always felt Mike Alfred is the spiritual successor to the king. Yeah, depends on how you look at it. Shiv's the Stabber. Venom movie sounds great, but I think it needs more carnage. More carnage or more cowbell. We're going to discuss that. The first image just came out recently for the Venom movie. To me, just the concept of the Venom movie does not sound great because it's Fox. It's Fox, and they're going to do something without Marvel. Did I say Fox? See, I'm screwing up today. It's Sony. It's actually Sony Pictures, and they're doing it without Marvel, without the approval of Marvel. They don't need the approval of Marvel, but they're doing it without Marvel. And even Amy Pascal, the lady in charge of the Spider-Man properties. Excuse me. I want to say the comic book properties, but she's only got Spider-Man left. She lost everything else. And they were actually about to fire her if it wasn't for this move that she made with Kevin Feige. But she she even went and said on air, "Oh yeah, this is going to be in the Marvel continuity." And there's Kevin Feige looking at her like, "I'm a gentleman, and I'm not going to say that you're an effing liar." But he did come out later and say, "No, he's absolutely not a part of the Marvel continuity. This is not a part of the Marvel universe. Spider-Man is a part of the Marvel universe, but that's all that Marvel has approved. We're not going to prove..." He didn't say this, but basically what he's alluding to is we're not going to prove potential crap that they've been giving us to put in there. So the idea of doing a Carnage movie, a Venom movie, is anathema to me. I think don't, because when push comes to shove, who's the guy who pushed for it? Avi Arad. Avi Arad said, all right, Spider-Man's back on top. Yeah, look, I got my Spider-Man hat. Do I feel like reaching up and get my Spider-Man hat? Why the hell not? This is Avi Arad, man. He's all like, yeah, Spider-Man. I'm not going to readjust it. Yeah, Spider-Man. It's back. It's back. All right. So, I was the big thing and involved in that. Yeah, that's what I did. Anyway, yeah, I hate him. So, this knucklehead who used to own Toy Biz and screwed up the entire Marvel property, the only person who benefited out of it was Avi Arad, which I get it, but at the same time, why set your own product on fire? It's like burning the bridge while you're still standing on it. So Avi Arad was booted from everything that has to do with Marvel. He's not allowed anywhere near anything that has to do with Marvel itself because he actually sucks that much. So as soon as, Spider-Man Homecoming was coming out, it's like, oh, this is going to be really good. He's still working for Sony. Sony still sees some kind of value in him, or he's got some unbreakable contract. And he's like, yeah, hey, you know what we should do? We should do a Venom movie now. Yeah! No, I'm sorry. This was bust from the beginning. Spider-Man 3 was actually looking really good. Really good. And they were already talking about the villain that they were going to have for number 4, and they were talking about the villain they were going to have for number 5. Number 5 was actually supposed to have the Black Cat in it. They were already planning 2 movies in advance while the third movie was being made. And he went and screwed it up by saying, yeah, we got to have Venom in it. No, I don't care. Put Venom in it. Shoehorn him in. It's Venom. You can't do Venom wrong. Anybody who says you can't do Venom wrong and produces that garbage, you really want Avi Arad in charge of this project? Because he is. Okay, moving on. Doug, I prefer the floppy hat version of Steppenwolf. The floppy hat version? Oh, are you talking about the the Magic Carpet Ride? One of the greatest songs in history. I used to have that on 8-track. Yeah, I'm that old. Just wow, okay. Okay, there we go. Just wow, okay. How do you feel about them making Steppenwolf Darkseid's nephew? He is actually Darkseid's nephew. I explained that. I screwed up by saying that it's Doomsday's or that it's his father or blah, blah, blah. Oh, wait, they said Darkseid's nephew? No, he's Darkseid's uncle. Wait, are they actually saying that he's Darkseid's nephew? I haven't seen that. I don't want to see that. Oh, come on, guys. Are they really doing that? Now you know he's literally there. Okay, so let me tell you exactly what's going to happen now. Marvel decides we're going to do 4 big movies with the main cast. We're going to do 4 big movies with the main cast. I already see it right now. Everything's been laid out in front of me. So first we're going to have Loki. Awesome. Greatest villain that we've seen so far in the Marvel Universe, right? And they come around like, we got to do something that's going to be tougher than Loki, but not as tough as Thanos, because everybody knows in the 3rd movie and the 4th, we're going to put out Thanos. Yeah. So like, Ultron. We got to do Ultron. Now, he wasn't done right, but Voltron is a credible threat. All right? Potentially greater than Loki, definitely not on Thanos level, especially not with that Infinity Gauntlet. Just a second. Hey, leave my cat alone. 2-year-old, he doesn't get it. Cats get hurt. Anyway, so that was their plan. But the idea is you still felt that there were potentially some repercussions that could have happened because of Avengers 2. The problem was Joss was too busy and he was forced to do this. He was forced to do it and it was a bad idea. And they should have just let him do what he wanted to do. They were putting all these foreshadowings in there that were, showing, oh, Captain America's shield's going to be broken, Iron Man's going to screw up everything, Thor's going to go inside of some kind of a well someplace, and yeah, all these crazy things are going to happen. Could we just have the movie, that we paid for? Please? Then, now DC's going to come along, and it's like, okay, so, clearly we've already said that Darkseid's coming out, but here's the deal. We're going to throw in Steppenwolf first. Does anybody really think that Steppenwolf is going to have any kind of a great repercussion here? First off, spoilers. Green Lantern's going to be in this movie, okay? It's not a spoiler because I went on set and I read the script and I talked to some people and I found out who the actor is and blah, blah, blah. No, it's pretty obvious. From everything they've been showing us, there's going to be a Green Lantern. In the second trailer, he actually, Steppenwolf actually said at one point, I think it was Steppenwolf, maybe it was Darkseid, whatever, somebody said, the Earth is ripe for the taking. There's no Green Lanterns here. And the Kryptonian is missing. He's dead. And then the whole thing with the Big Bang Theory, and then just everything they've been showing. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those kind of things where it's like, dude, okay, cool. Thank you that Green Lantern's going to be in this. I actually would have liked to have been surprised. All right? When they here, I'm going to give you an example. The Hangover. The Hangover Part 2. You remember that? Hangover 1 was really good. Hangover 2, they kind of implicated that, what's-his-face, Mike Tyson was going to be in it. That's a shame. They absolutely showed that he was going to be in the first one. That's a real shame. He was great in that first one. He was great. The whole Phil Collins, in the air tonight thing, and then the punch in the face of the one-man wolf pack. That was Zach Galifianakis. That was all really great. I loved that. But you know what would have been better? If they would have went what the heck was that movie called? Zombie apocalypse thing? The one where they were going to, and Woody Harrelson was looking for, did I say Woody Harrelson? I think it's Woody Harrelson, was going off, I don't remember this movie as well, but he was looking for the Twinkies, all right? It was the zombie apocalypse, and he was looking for the last pack of Twinkies on Earth. And Bill Murray was in that movie. That wasn't advertised. There was nothing indicated that he was going to be in this movie. So when he did show up, anybody who saw this movie was like, oh my God! And anybody who was on the fence about it, somebody who's like, hey, did you see that movie yet? No, I don't think I saw that yet. But Bill Murray's in it. Wait, what? It was a great role. Really? And now you got to go and see it. It's one of those kind of movies where it just felt... Zombieland, thank you. Thank you. Shivs and Victor, thank you very much. Yeah, Zombieland. Like, that was good. Truemate also. That was really good. I loved that. Like, that was... And that's the way that a movie should be. I don't want to know that Green Lantern's going to be in this movie. I want it to be a surprise that just makes me go, they put him in the movie! The Justice League is complete. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Supergirl's going to be in this. Maybe it'll be Superman. I mean, obviously he's going to be in there in the hindsight, but the problem with this is they're leaving just enough that's suspenseful, just enough that could make you go, wait a second, that it could go either way. It literally could go either way. This could wind up being a pretty good movie. It's not going to be a great movie. It's not. It's just not. I mean, they're working with Zack Snyder's stuff. We've all already voted that we don't want Zack Snyder's vision for this. The problem is, you got a bunch of old men, and millennials will relate to this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know. It's people my age and older than me who are all like, oh, you millennials, you suck. You want everything handed to you, blah, 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 blah. I'm just a little bit smarter than that, okay? I understand that, no, you don't want everything handed to you. You simply want to be able to survive off a living, working wage like we have and like our forefathers have, like your grandfathers and everything like that have. I get it. I don't hate millennials. I understand it's the system, not you guys. So the idea is millennials and we have Twitter. We have social media in many aspects. And while before, my voice and all of our voices were never heard, your voices are heard. And you've been saying, okay, this is not what we want. We don't really want this. And these old men sitting in these business chairs on these high offices, looking down on us plebes below and saying, we will tell you what you want because we have done studies to see what you want with almost real subjects. Like, come on, man. We don't want your analyses. We don't want anything like that. The people have spoken. All you got to do now is listen. And social media is free. Who pays for social media unless you're actually in a business there? All that stuff is free. So why don't they just simply save their money on their silly little analyses, pay attention to what's happening on Twitter, check out the hashtags, and just the people have spoken. The people are still speaking. Listen to it. But no, instead they're like, they're just complaining. Yeah, listen to your complaints. Listen to the complaints. But no, nobody wants to do that. And that's a shame. That's a shame. So, Z-Land kind of was a classic. Zack Snyder was set up to fail. That was too much work for one person. I don't know, man. I think his ego. He thought that it was enough to hold it all up. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's hard to sit there and say it's not Zack. I mean, it's Zack. It's Zack. He's one of the cockiest SOBs ever. Like, look, I get some people who insult my channel once in a while. Say, oh, God forbid, go and look at my Critical Role issue number 1. You know what I'm saying? People get in there, okay, you don't know anything about Critical Role. First off, I do know something about Critical Role. When I saw it, the name recognition was there. I've seen a couple episodes, but people are like, you've obviously never watched a single episode. Actually, I have. The problem that you have is that I haven't watched every episode like you have. Sorry, I'm not in love with it. But at the same time, they have come over into my realm of comic books. So that's my realm. When you step into my realm, now suddenly you have my attention. So I'm checking out their comic book. It's like, oh, cool, man. It's in Dark Horse Comics. And how many people who watch Critical Role religiously but don't know anything about comic books, can they tell me what properties Dark Horse owns? Because I can. And it's just one of those things where it's like, dude, I'm just reviewing a comic book. I don't have to learn the names of all these characters. That's not... The onus of that is not on me. The onus of that is on Matthew Colville, who's mostly writing the comic book, did the script and everything, and Matt Mercer, who's providing the information for it. The onus of responsibility for me to learn those names are on them, not on me. I'm looking at the media as it's presented to me. That's it. So there's going to be, opinions is one thing, but just people who don't understand the difference between their anus and an opinion, and they're just like shoving it in your face. I don't want your anus shoved in my face any more than I want your opinion shoved in my face. And you don't really want my opinion shoved in your face. I'm simply presenting it, and you can take it or not. But when you have... Oh, I love having fun like this. But anyway, it's hard to push forward the idea for me that that Zack was a victim in all of this. When Zack turns around and says, you guys are just a bunch of whiners, shut up. What he's basically saying, I want you to honestly think about what I'm saying here, okay? What he's actually saying there is, this is the thing that I presented to you. Shut your mouth and give me your money. Like, could it honestly be anything different that he's saying? That's exactly what he's saying. I want your money. These are the superheroes. People complained that what did he say? These are actual quotes that he said. Maybe a little bit, not the exact verbiage, but make no mistake, the exact context. He'd say, oh, and Richard Donner's Superman, the first one and the second one, they killed Zod and those other two guys. They killed them. Yeah. Where do you think they went when they fell into the smoke? But it was one of those ambiguous kills, all right, where they fell into a smoke. That could have gone, come on, for crying out loud. He pulled off the S on his chest and turned into a big Mylar prison for these guys. I mean, that's not a real Superman power. The whole switching powers things and whatnot, what? What is that? They would make up powers all the time back then. That was when he was the Omni-Superman. You know what I'm saying? Not regular Superman that we know of today. The post-crisis Superman who actually had some kind of restraints on his power. It's not, what's your power today? Oh, what do I need? What do I need to win the day? That's my power. That was Superman pre-crisis. So the Richard Donner Superman, when he shoved him in there, I was a kid when I watched that. It wasn't bloody. It wasn't gory. It didn't involve people's heads being cut off or their necks being snapped. You know, and this is one of those things where I wondered, can people actually see outside of their own box? Well, I guess when your head is kind of shoved up your butt and your butt is your box, can you see outside of your butt? Because that's basically the question that I'm asking. Pushing someone into smoke, and they could have fallen into the Phantom Zone. They could have fallen into a prison. They could have fallen into a cryo sleep. Like it's dry ice they're using. Maybe the actual wet ice is inside and they get put into cryo shock. I don't know. Maybe they're being put into a freaking chopper. Maybe the chopping wall is in there. A bunch of robots slicing them up, made it with Kryptonian blades. I don't know, but I didn't see any blood. I saw them disappear into smoke. That's what I saw when I was a kid. That's what I see if I go back and look at the movie today. You know, I haven't seen that in years, but probably should, right? Just because I remember it doesn't mean that I shouldn't go back and watch it. The trick here is when you actually show Superman doing, no, was that a good, accurate representation? Look, I love the guy who's playing Superman. Freaking amazing actor. Lewis from the Geek Fortress would punch me clean in my teeth, and he would be in the right to do it if I were to sit there and come down hard on him. He's a great actor. He's great as Superman. He's probably, like, seriously, it's hard to say there's a better actor than Christopher Reeve for Superman because, like, he died playing the role pretty much. But, like, yeah, he's really good. Henry Cavill. He's really good in the role. I love him in the role. But ambiguous death, if that's actually what it is, and an actual I snapped his neck and his dead body is in my arms right now, Zack Snyder actually doesn't get the difference. He's made it clear that he does not get the difference. So that's the thing. To say that it's not Zack's fault, hashtag totally Zack's fault. He really doesn't get it. Okay. Too much on that. This was supposed to be about Justice League specifically. Technically, it's related. Okay. Geez, who else is? Oh my God, this went so far. Yeah, Tartarus. Victor. Tartarus is where. That's the land of the dead. It's separate from Elysium, or Elysium is separate from it properly, but Tartarus is actually the land of the dead in the Greek mythology, and Wonder Woman follows the Greek mythology perfectly. Zeus is technically her father now. Ever since the New 52, they actually kept that instead of the clay version. I've always fight. Okay, let's see. Okay, there's actually a lot of comments for me to get to, so I'm going to try. Flash is going to save that movie. Royal Cheetah Boyd. Flash may save that movie. He may. There's a chance. Streaks 93, Sony, not Fox. Thank you. I corrected myself. Gotta do Secret Wars before Venom so Spidey can get that costume. Right? I don't think they're gonna do it that way. But that's Doug Viovic. Yeah, it's a possibility. They're just gonna do it some other way, like he invented it chemically, like they did in the Ultimate Universe for Spider-Man, the Earth 1610 universe. Just wow, okay? Hope they don't do Venom, a pseudo Spider-Man. I'm afraid you might not get your wish. Doug, Mysterio or bust? That's right, you do love Mysterio, right? One of these days I'm going to... When there's not so many movies coming out, or at least the movies that are coming out, I've already explained most of their characters, I will get back into a bunch of rogues galleries. I've got to get into the rogues gallery of Batman. I've been doing way too much Marvel, explained in a minute lately. But yes, I will absolutely get to some Spider-Man's rogues gallery. Mysterio is on that list. He absolutely is. Literally, like top, if not top 5, top 3. You know, like yeah. No, his original appearance with the tall green hat and sword. Who's original? I'm so far past that right now. Tall green hat and sword. Oh, you're talking about Steppenwolf. Yes. When he, you read those comics. Yeah, when he first appeared, he had a really tall hat. It was green, and he just had the sword. He was riding on the war dogs and all that stuff. But that was in the mystery thing. What the heck is it called? That was in New Gods issue number 7. That was the memory thing. That whole. Anyways, go and check that out. I don't want to explain it again. Plus, I'm seem to be having a hard time doing it right now. I still got to do a Runaways trailer explanation. Darn it, I'm not going to combine them because I already did the graphic for it. So, boom. Black Panther. The Black Panther looks sick. Whew. I only started doing. I went and did Manape. Like, I was so excited that long before I ever needed to, I jumped on. I was like, okay, Manape, explained in a minute. Manape is actually my favorite Black Panther villain. I love Manape. The history of him and everything. Go check out Manape, explained in a minute. I'm certain that's in the description below. And I've got to do like a Killmonger. I've got to do Ulysses Claw. I got to do all these guys. On top of that, Deadly Nightshade. I got to do her, which I'm not complaining. I got to do her. I'm down. The new version of Nighthawk. I'd rather do all of Nighthawk, but we'll see. We'll see what needs to be done. Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to get into. And I may even do Black Panther himself explained in a minute. I usually don't do the big guys. Most people know who that is, but I think there are enough people who don't know Black Panther. Like what he can actually do. There are a lot of people like Batman versus Black Panther. Yeah, I think that with proper prep time, whatever prep time that Batman gets, Black Panther gets it too. And he probably doesn't need that. There is a conversation in the comic books one time where Black Panther is fighting Iron Man, and Iron Man was like, I always wondered, you're a smart guy, almost as smart as me. And he's like, yeah, I always wondered why you didn't make a suit. Because I know that if you ever made an actual suit, like an Iron Man type suit, you would totally blow me away. Yeah, he did. And he did. He fought against Totally Awesome Hulk. Totally Awesome Hulk did not stand a chance. I'm just saying. Tony Stark never came anywhere near that level of taking down the Banner Hulk. So, and we can get into that other conversation later. Black Panther owns anybody he chooses to. He owns them. Like he's really good. Do I think he could beat Captain America? That's debatable. I do know that Black Panther is smart enough now to not try to be sneaky with Cap, because Cap is not a sneaky person. He can be, but he wears the bright uniform and all that stuff, so he's not interested in being sneaky. But what he is he can actually feel the slightest movement in air pressure, and he's been shown that. So Black Panther couldn't even get the drop on Captain America. So yeah, back to the idea that Batman could beat Cap. Sorry guys, I know that when it usually comes down to it, DC will always trump Marvel because their dials are up to 11. But when it comes to when it comes to Captain America and Batman, sorry, that's one that I can't justify saying that Batman could actually win that one. I'd rather say that he could beat Thor somehow. I don't know how he would. Batman does. He's got it in his belt, but a one-on-one against Cap, I just don't think he has the capabilities. Cap has a bag of tricks also. All those ammo belts, all the stuff that he's got on him, he's got a bag of tricks too. He just doesn't feel the need to use it as much as Batman does. I personally think, this is true, mate. I personally think Martian Manhunter, Justice League, myself, but Cyborg is all right. I guess it's going to take some time though. Yeah, see, I'm glad. Thank you for bringing it back to Justice League. Excuse me. This is the Justice League movies. This DC cinematic universe is actually based off of the New 52. This is, excuse me, the peanut butter and jelly is not agreeing with me. The New 52 universe is what is actually the premise of the DC cinematic universe. For some odd reason, the New 52 was rushed in, like the Flashpoint issue was actually just supposed to be a quick little thing that Jeff Johns did. And then DC came in and was like, whoa, it's about time for a crisis. And we said we're not going to do a crisis. We didn't say that we want to do a Flashpoint. Can you rewrite everything and blah, blah, blah? And I was like, yeah, sure. Like, I swear to God, that's pretty much exactly how it happened in the boardroom. And Jeff Johns is just like, you bastards, you're really going to put all of this on me? Really? So, yeah, poor Jeff Johns. Anyway, So the idea now that they're gonna and it killed the DC universe. Sales dropped drastically. There were very few characters who shined in the New 52. Batman is one of them. Batman shone like crazy. That was actually the very introduction of Scott Snyder coming over to the DC universe, and he started up with a Court of Owls and then the Death of the Family storylines. That alone, you don't have to mention anything else. You don't even have to mention Death of the Family. Just Court of Owls. That happened in New 52. New 52 was worth it. I don't care everything else. Superman has armor now. Whatever, it's worth it. Superman and Wonder Woman an item now. Not Batman and Batman and Superman. Oh God, we're getting into that. Batman and Wonder Woman. That's not a thing anymore. Now it's Superman and Wonder Woman. Cheesy, but whatever. Court of Owls. That's good. Court of Owls was so damn good that we could forgive almost everything else about the DC universe, specifically the New 52. On top of that, they also had Cyborg. Cyborg came out from the Teen Titans and joined the Justice League. I'm going to tell you the exact reason why. The exact same reason why they had Jon Stewart in the Justice League animated series instead of Hal Jordan. We kind of need the token black guy. No, I'm not joking. These are the exact words that they used for both situations. They didn't say token for the Cyborg situation. But for the first one, they're like, okay, the reason why we have a Hawk woman instead of Hawk man, the Hawk girl instead of Hawk man, is because, well, we don't really need two Hawk characters. And if we're only going to have one, well, we've only got Wonder Woman, so we should kind of have a female. So we're going to do that. And it's like, oh, we need a Green Lantern. You can't have a Justice League without a Green Lantern. It's not the same. Just check the movie, for instance. We got to have a Green Lantern. So, boom, let's put a Green Lantern in there. All right, Hal Jordan. Well, we don't really have any black guys on the team. Hey, let's put a Jon Stewart in instead. Look, Jon Stewart was good in there. It was great. All right, but that's a hindsight thing. Hindsight, oh, it's good they put Jon Stewart in there. Foresight, like when you don't have hindsight, in front of you, and you're looking at this from a distance, and you're looking at this from a monetary sort of view, every single fan was like, why is Jon Stewart in there instead of Hal Jordan? Hello. So that was kind of a given. You know what I'm saying? It worked out in the end, and that's a good thing. Likewise, putting Cyborg in the Justice League, they needed some more integration of characters. So hey, they started creating more black characters, which is a good thing. That's a really good thing. The thing is, they didn't have any black characters already in the Justice League, really. Like, not really. So, like, we're going to promote Cyborg. Cool. Whatever. That was actually, him in the Justice League was pretty good, but his solo series in the New 52 was one of my favorites. I loved it. That was amazing. And I despise the solo series that he has in Rebirth right now. I think I did the first 3 issues, and I had to drop it because I don't like to review a comic that I don't like to read. So I'm just not one of those guys. So I didn't like the series. I dropped it. But in New 52, he was great. Very few exceptions in the New 52, though. Those were 2 of them. Snyder is style over substance. 100% correct, Doug. 100% correct. Yeah, your opinion, it's my opinion also. Style over substance in every way, shape, and form. He's literally like, okay, so I'm going to have this great scene, and it's going to be awesome. When I got this idea for this other great scene. Okay, listen, on paper, I've got the idea for like 40 really great scenes. All right, how do we tie these scenes together? Wait, what? Seriously? You don't make the script first and then decide how those scenes can be awesome? You're literally just you literally got these awesome scenes, well, in your mind, awesome. They're old for us now. There's only but so many. This is Sparta! Kick the messenger down into the freaking bottomless pit, right? That was a great scene. And with a movie like 300, where there's a narration over top, my lord went to over here and he kicked some booty there, and that was great. That worked there. But you can't just do that for all of your movies. Like I've said many times before, Bullet Time was great for the first Matrix movie. After that, they lessened it a lot for the next 2 movies. And the next one they're going to do, which is a Morpheus prequel, which I think could be good. Yeah, man, you can't overdo that stuff. You can't overuse it. And Zack Snyder is all about, he's a one-trick pony. He's a 3-legged dog. You know what I'm saying? There's only but so much he can do. And until he proves me wrong, he's got to prove me wrong. Zach rolled a 1 on direction. Ooh, critical fail. Shoot, and then suddenly I lost all that. Why did I have to lose all that stuff? Come on. Black Panther trailer gave me a nerdgasm. Yeah, just wow, okay. I agree with you. Where's Kevin Feige of Nate of DC? Warner Brothers let him carry too much. They've actually got 8 people on this. That's the thing. Zach is only one of several. Let him carry too much? He fought for it. That was actually part of his contract. You can't take away my stuff, okay? I've got to have, like, almost unlimited control on this stuff, okay? The DC's, like, fighting for everything they possibly can. No, I'm serious when I say this. Zach was, like, seriously pushing. He wants to take everything. You had my curiosity, now you have my attention. I forget what that you quoted that, so I don't know what that's from, True Mate. Nate Moore, yes. Royal Cheat. I wonder if Snyder read any of Jim Lee's books. Honestly, no. Here's the thing. You can't expect a director to read everything, right? I think that's one of the reasons why Marvel does that with their characters. They'll take, like with Doctor Strange, they had Benedict Cumberbatch in costume go into a comic book store, and they recorded it. Him going in there, took a lot of pictures and whatnot. And then, he grabbed a bunch of books, and, the guy behind the counter was like, okay, get over here. He's like, let me see what you got. He's like, nope, you're not buying that. Nope, you're not buying that. No, I don't care what the cover looks like, you're not buying that. This is good. This is good. No, not this. This is good. Hold on, I got some other things that you missed. He'll go over and grab some other things, but like, this is what you're buying. Don't you do my character wrong. That's how fans are. Is that healthy? No, that guy needs some serious psychiatric counseling. But at the same time, that's how many fans are. They're rabid. Get my character right. It doesn't have to be, do the storyline exactly. But yeah, get my character right. Don't screw over my character. Why? If I made a Terminator movie and the guy wasn't a cyborg, like literally, not a cyborg, nothing genetically modified, nothing, why am I making a Terminator movie? Why not just make a different franchise? Something outside the franchise. Why not? Right? So if you're going to be in the franchise, you got to cater to the people who are in that franchise. You're going to make a Doctor Strange movie. The fans of Doctor Strange are going to be scrutinizing big time. Whoa. Doctor Strange would never say that. You know what I'm saying? He would never say, I don't need money. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to be famous and popular and stuff. No, that was the whole reason why he became Doctor Strange. You know what I'm saying? Because he had all those beliefs. And he had to get out of those beliefs. No. That's not my Doctor Strange. And they're right. Same thing happened with Bernenthal. What the heck is his first name? Whatever. Anyways, with Bernenthal, he went in and people were like, for the Punisher, he went into a comic book store, and the guy, as he was walking up, he wasn't in costume, and the guy was sitting, the comic book store owner, whether he was the owner or just a worker, I actually don't remember. The first guy was actually the owner. This guy, I don't remember if he was the owner or not, but he's sitting in front of the comic book store, and he looks up and he sees him, he's like, yeah, I know who you are. Yeah, let me tell you something. You're not going to ruin my Punisher. Okay, I've seen 3 movies come out so far. Dolph Lundgren effed it up. Thomas Jane effed it up. No, he didn't. He actually did a really good job. The next guy, I can't remember his name, but he effed it up so bad we don't even remember his name. All right? And realistically, it was director and all that good stuff. I still maintain the Thomas Jane movie was a really good movie. They could have just went with that. But, yeah. Fans are rabid, man. Fans are rabid. So, and can you really blame them? I see a PB&J comment. Thank you, Victor. Does it show? Very true. Zach doesn't understand the difference between direct and accidental fatality. True, mate. Yeah. Wow. Really that far back in the comments? Flash, Micah Burnett. Flash seems to be much more Wally than Barry. Flash seems so much more Wally than Barry. Yes. You nailed it. Just in that first sentence alone, and there's more. I'm going to get to it. Yes, you're 100% right in that. And just the idea that you already got the perfect Barry Allen over in the Arrowverse, why didn't they make this other kid into Wally West? That's what I'm talking about. These are people where it's like the fans, we look at this and we're like, okay, this is an easy fix. This is an easy fix. We love this guy. We were pushing for this guy to come from the Arrowverse into the main verse. And then you could also bring Stephen Amell with you also because, but why not take Grant Gustin? He's already established his backstory and everything. He's the perfect Flash. Nobody dislikes Grant Gustin as the Flash. If you find that guy, he's a spy. All right? He's a spy for Marvel. Okay? I'm just saying. I'm putting that out there. So why not just take Grant Gustin? You want to have the Barry Allen Flash? Grant Gustin, here he is. No, we think the fans will be confused. Do you really think you're that smart? That you assume that we're that stupid? Come on, man. Come on, man. Nobody's going to get confused with anything. You know, but we don't want to be a part of the same universe. Okay, well, then here's an easy fix. Make that Wally West. There's such a huge Flash family. You could have made him anybody, you know? But just, nope. He's got to be Barry Allen. The fans won't like... Shut up. Stop thinking for me. I'm perfectly capable of thinking for myself. So are all the other fans. We're all capable of thinking for ourselves. And we may get into mosh pit fist fights once in a while over our characters, but the fact remains that we can think for ourselves. The rest of Mika's comment, Micaiah, sorry. I almost think it would be cool if Barry had already reset time and died, and Wally was trying to cover for someone no one else remembers anymore. That could be. What a great way that if they decided to bring in the DC Cinematic Universe with the Arrowverse, what a great way to do that, right? It could be like literally like an Earth 1, Earth 2 kind of thing, you know, or an Earth 0 kind of thing, right? Why not? Rebirth was its own universe, so it could just be New 52 versus everybody else, you know? Could have easily done that. Shivs, unless they make a cosmic Spidey movie, I'm done with Spider-Man. Oh, wow. You want to see him punching the Hulk into orbit? It would be the Gray Hulk, though. It would be the Gray Hulk. True mate, all Batman got to do is bust out the Captain America repellent spray. I don't like you anymore. I think you just did that over in the Nerdarchy chat, too. You said something like that. That's great. Oh, God bless Adam West. I hated Dick Fillmore. Hey, what's up, Dick? I hated 300, such a racist film. Oh, I'm going to have to ask you about that one. Was it? I guess if I look back on it, I'd probably see that also. A lot of people are not going to like my Action Comics 990 review. I mentioned something there. Dan Jurgens might have screwed up just a little bit. Okay, just wow, okay. I like Cyborg from Teen Titans. He's so fun to be around. Yes, from Teen Titans. Not necessarily from Teen Titans Go, but, Dick, sorry I'm late. Brother, you're welcome whenever you want. Fashionably late. Put fashionably in front of that. I'm a 616 diehard. We know you are. But a Justice League trailer had me smiling. Really? Okay, good. Hope that Green Lantern, Victor says, takes off. I love the lore of all the Green Lantern Corps. Exactly. And the movie they're planning on making is going to be Green Lantern Corps, which is a good thing. That's a good thing. Royal Cheetah, and was completely inaccurate historically, like not even close. Royal Cheetah and Dick. Okay, yes. I'm running over the movie 300 in my mind right now. Yes, there was a lot of racism involved in the movie. It was during a time, not so long ago, but still during a time when you could get away with stuff like that, when it wasn't considered, when nobody likes to hear this terminology, but literally the white privilege of, dude, we're just what? Like when, we can show black people in Africa, we could show their boobies in National Geographic. Okay, will you come over here and show white women's boobs? No, that wouldn't be right. That we're sexually repressed here in America. You get it? And it goes a lot more than that. Yes, okay. I can see what you're saying here. Yeah, there was the whole debauchery thing. The more that I'm thinking about the movie, yeah. I guess I only remember the good highlights from the movie. Anyway, also, as far as being historically accurate, you got to remember, there was a movie called 300 Spartans. That was an accurate portrayal of the historical context of that event. The movie that Zack Snyder did, 300, was actually based off of a comic book. So there's that diaspora there. So the comic book was a fictionalized version of the historical events, and the movie was a portrayal of the comic book. It was an adaptation of the comic book. So that's the reason why that happened. But no, I hear what you're saying. It's not an excuse. It's just trying to put things into context. Let's see. I would be just Dick Fillmore. I would be like that comic book guy. Yes, from Simpsons. R.I.P. MCU Juggernaut, Victor. Oh, yeah, I know. Royal. I actually enjoyed Warzone. Punisher. You're saying Punisher Warzone? The. I think it was fun, and he's not a spy. Punisher Warzone was pretty good in and of itself. It was pretty good. It wasn't great. This turned into a freaking podcast. I can't believe this. It was actually pretty good. What it was is that what is it here? We got the Warzone was supposed to be made off of Punisher Max. That's the thing. You know, like they were clearly taking many scenes and characters from Punisher Max, but they called it Punisher Warzone. Explain that. You can't, because it was a dumb choice. On top of that, they changed some of the characters so many times. Like Pitsy is the main thing. That wasn't Pitsy. Like, this is actually a really good idea of how not to do a movie. Look, being entertained is one thing, but when you've actually read the comic books, you can't get into the movie because you're trying to get into it, and somebody's like, oh, this guy's Pitsy. Oh, all right, we got Pitsy. Holy crap, this was like one of the best fist fights that Punisher has ever gotten to in the comics. I'm talking like, yeah, the fights with the Russian were pretty good. The fights with Barracuda were pretty good also. But Pitsy was a damn beast. Oh my God, I can't wait to get... And then it's just like, he's a punk. He's a punk. He's an absolute punk. He doesn't want to fight. He doesn't want to get mean. He's trying to be a peacemaker. Why did they even name the guy Pitsy? Why did they do that? These are things that just kill you. You know what I'm saying? And then they'll have some of the good scenes like, oh, he shot the dude, the parkour guy with the rocket launcher. That was cool. That was right. And he landed on the freaking the fence post like that. And then he jumped up off of the guy's head and snapped the guy's neck further. Yes, all that stuff, that was in the comics, and it was good to see that stuff, even though the CGI was kind of crappy. It was actually pretty good to see all that. At the same time, they messed up Pitsy. Oh, man. That's one of the things, man. That's one of the things. What did Mosh Pit do to get in a fist fight? You talk about the Marvel game, Victor. Joseph's book. Hey, Joseph's books. What's up, man? That'd be an awesome idea. I'm behind on that one. Joe Fisher. What's up, Joe? True mate. God bless Adam West indeed. Cyborg will always be a Titan. Yes, he will. Joseph's book. Doug, got to slip out early, class folks. Stay nerdy. Yeah, I'm going to end this pretty soon, too. The Punisher 2004 is my Punisher movie, but I can understand. True mate. Later, Doug. Dick Fillmore. Micro-sacrifice tugged on my nerd heart in Wars. Micro-sacrifice. Yeah. They had. I'm not denying they had some good movies. They had some good scenes in there. They really did. At the same time, there was too much wrong with that movie. Way too much wrong with the movie. Anyway, didn't they use the same girl who was? She wound up directing Twilight. I'm just saying the same girl who did this, who did Punisher Warzone, the movie, is the same woman, I believe, who did Twilight, the movie. Yeah. I'm just saying. And even if you just look at the quality and the ideas that were used between Twilight and the next one was New Moon, and then I think it was Eclipse, and then it was Breaking Dawn. Yeah, I know. I went there, all right? I had a girlfriend who was really into that stuff. Whatever, man. She was hot. It was worth it. So the idea is that, yeah, there's too much back and forth in that one. Too much back and forth. So, yeah, it's not a masterpiece. Agreed. All right. I'm gonna bounce out of this. I'm gonna go and watch this. Just enjoyed it. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna watch this Runaways trailer right now. Crap, and I've got to watch it pretty quick, and I can't do too far. Warzone directed Warzone did Twilight. I feel dirty. Yes. Yeah, true, mate. Me too. Anyway, so, oh my God. Okay, comments aside, I gotta go. I'm gonna check out the Runaways second trailer, and I'm gonna come back on, new infographic and everything, and then, yeah, we'll do this again. Not nearly as long. A freaking hour for this. Really? Come on. Mika, good day, sir. Yes. And then it has to be quick because I got to go pick up my kid in exactly an hour. So, all right. I'll see you guys in a little bit or so. All right. Professor Bill, Comic Book University, class dismissed. Later, guys.